Hello, welcome. I am live. Friday Night Live. I am back. I am back. Hello. It's probably going to be crickets in here for a while because I have not been live in so long. So, welcome if you're meeting me for the very first time. Welcome. My name is Tracie Collins, and here I talk about all things business and wellness, my life here in Mexico sometimes, but mostly I talk about leveling up as with women. I am a women's business strategist, and I absolutely love what I do, and I help women in leadership create, build, scale, and sell their businesses. Hey, Dara, what's up? Hello. Thank you for being one of two people here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am back. I don't know for how long, but I am back on YouTube Friday Night Live. So make sure you let me know, especially if you're watching the replay, that you're here. And hopefully, this message just, we can catch up with one another, see how you guys are doing, so you guys can see how I'm doing. Please let me know if it is skipping at all, because StreamYard is telling me that the signal isn't strong, even though I don't know what happens with StreamYard. So let me know if you guys are hearing me okay. Please like this live, share this live. I am always about helping and empowering women, especially women who look like me, Black women and women of color, because I understand the obstacles that we are up against. So drop a hello in the chat so I know that you're here, so I can shout you out. What's up? Okay, thank you so much for letting me know that. I'm back, you guys. Yeah, please like this live. And I'm saying that because we want to let the YouTube algorithm know that, hey, girl, we want to let the YouTube algorithm know that you want more content like this. And that was part of my issue with YouTube, which is the reason why I took a break. So let me talk about that for a little bit. I dropped a video earlier this week, or was it in the last week? I think it was earlier this week, and I talked about me taking a break from YouTube. I just needed it. I needed a break from YouTube. I needed to take time off and just kind of recalibrate, to readjust, to give myself some downtime. Sometimes I want to hang out with my friends on Friday nights if we get together. Sometimes I just don't want to do anything after a long week, if the week is long and stressful. And I just needed a break. I needed to kind of reevaluate my relationship with this space, not y'all, but with this space. YouTube, to be all, I've been very transparent. I'm just not really a fan of it. And I show it because of you guys. But what I do know, I think for business purposes, branding purposes, I think is absolutely necessary, because it just goes with the bigger ecosystem of just business and branding, everything that I stand for. So I was like, okay, girl, get your butt back. But it wasn't just YouTube that I noticed that I did this with. I also did this with TikTok. And when you start to come back, the algorithms are not as friendly because they want you to be on there all the time, posting all the time. And what I have found, just kind of looking at other business owners and people who are brands or building their brands or creators on social media, is that they spend a lot of time posting and going live on social media. And for somebody who has been in the business landscape for like 20 something years, I always ask myself, how sustainable is this? So does your business run without you? Can it run without you? What happens when you can't go live consistently, or when you can't show up all the time? What happens then? So I look at the longer, broader picture, and it's just, to me, it's just not sustainable. So for me, for Tracie, it's just about finding the everyday balance, finding a balance that works for me, that's comfortable, that resonates with my audience, which is extremely important to me. And that, to where I don't feel like I'm compromising myself or I'm forcing myself to do something that just doesn't feel true to me, because you guys know authenticity is key for me. Like, if I can't be 100 with y'all, then I'm just not, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me. Hey, honey. Thank you for for clicking in. Hey, Dara. Tell Angie I said hello, miss seeing her face. Anybody else, please drop in the comments. Let me know. Again, like and share this live because that's what YouTube says to do. But how have y'all been? What have y'all been up to? That has been, I think it's been 6 weeks since my last live video. And so, yeah, I just took some time off. I just needed it. So, and I got some beautiful messages, which was really sweet because you never know like who you're impacting or what kind of, experience somebody is having with you through a screen. And I'm so grateful for the messages that I received. I woke up to one this morning that was absolutely just beautiful. And I just honor the fact that people understand the break and that they also didn't say, Tracie, hurry up and come back. They just said, like, do what you need to do. But we absolutely just appreciate how you've impacted us. And that was just the overall message. And I was like, oh my God, because I always think I'm talking to the ethers. I always think that I'm just out there and I'm not really resonating with anybody. I don't know why I think that, but that's just what I think. And I'm just so grateful the fact that that was not the case. Like, I was like, my presence was absolutely felt. So I appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that. So I have my housekeeping notes before I forget on my trusted legal pad paper because I will forget. So part of my time off, it helped me think about like what it is that I want to do. I'm a big person on making sure that you are impactful in whatever it is that you do. And I love pouring into other women. It just brings me so much joy. So with that being said, I decided to launch a quarterly LeadHer Luncheon. And it's a virtual free experience for women in business. Hey, Missy. It is a virtual free experience for women in business and an opportunity to network, to get your messaging out there, to connect, to rub elbows, even though it's virtual. So it's a virtual LeadHer Luncheon experience. The link is in the bio just to get your name on the list so you can be amongst the first to know when the date opens up. I will be dropping the date sometime next week. And it gives you the opportunity to join in and meet other women around the globe who are doing the damn thing. I always understand that old school networking never goes out of fashion. Getting to know people, getting in community, getting to know who does what and how we can collaborate and support each other. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, you must do it together. And so getting in collaboration with people who are, thank you, Christine, getting in collaboration with people is going to be the key moving forward. The business landscape has changed tremendously, but there are certain things that are not changing. AI will never take away the human experience. Human experience is going to be key moving forward because as we see community is stronger, becomes stronger and stronger, especially now, especially what's happening in society. People are craving authentic connection. And so with the LeadHer Luncheon, it is just going to be a power hour, a discussion talking about the overall business landscape, sharing with others what you do. So if you are a woman in business, the link is in the description to get on the list. If you know a woman in business, share the link with her. It does not matter what stage of business you're in, what industry you're in. We can all learn from each other, and it just gives you the opportunity to rub elbows. It does not matter. Just get in the room. So I love creating, again, safe space for us. And so making sure that you get in the room so the more people know what you do and we can all come together. So it's a free virtual luncheon. It is something that I will be doing quarterly. So this is going to be for the final quarter of 2025. So that way we can propel into 2026, the first quarter of the year. Businesses and just people in general, we understand the power of obviously coming together, but also making sure that you do the necessary prep work so you can be in the best space forward. Yes, yes, yes. Community is currency. Oh my God, I love that. It is the best currency. Community is the best currency when it comes to just elevation. It just is, elevation. When I think about community, I remember living in Atlanta and I was like, I didn't have much community. And now moving here to Mexico, being here now 2 years, the community is everything. It really has shown me that community is powerful. So it is absolutely currency. The next thing is I will be dropping a free masterclass on how to grow your email list organically. In the leader space, if you are in my inner circle, one of the things that I always preach and teach to them is you should always be in lead generating mode. And there's ways to do that, but you have to grow your email list. You have to grow your network. You have to pull your network off of these social media platforms just in case they decide to go down, change their mind, the algorithm doesn't support you, whatever the case is, you still have a space to network and sell your products and offer and get it out there to your client and customer base. So make sure you're on my email list. If you sign up for the LeadHer Luncheon, you will automatically become on my email list. But get on my email list because that is something that is going to be free, and you will know when that workshop is available for you to watch at your own pace, space, and time. I thought I was going to make it, more of a master class where everybody can be involved, but I'm actually going to just keep it as a pre-recorded session so anybody can watch it at any time. I'm sure Atlanta gets lonely. It does. It just is. Atlanta is a unique place. That's all I can say. And without any further ado, we have the upcoming retreats. So I'm gonna be retreat busy next year. So I have the LeadHer Wellness Retreat that's happening here in San Miguel, not March, February 9th through the 14th, which I'm, titling A Love Note to Self. It is for women in business leadership who need a break, women who are constantly pouring into one another, but need somebody to pour into them. And this is something that I know that I need and always would benefit from. And I understand what it's like to just always be on the go, always be figuring out your next move, always be trying to climb that next level and ladder. But this is the opportunity to be poured into. This is the opportunity. No, I'm not. This is the opportunity to just let us love on you. And there is going to be several speakers and healing therapists there, daily yoga. It is going to have just treatment sessions of Reiki and even doctor treatments of vitamins and nutrients and IVs that, all of the things that you need to just be replenished to go back out in the world. So that is my wellness retreat that is coming up, the LeadHer Wellness Retreat. That's in February. Now, March, we are back in Oaxaca, Michelle and I. This is again why you need to get on my email list so you don't miss the things that are coming up. But we are back in Oaxaca for the Black Blossom Retreat. We are on the beach in the coast of Oaxaca, outside of Huatuco in Salchi, Mexico. And when I tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely one of the most restful times where you can just kind of be amongst nature and not have to worry about doing anything. You don't have to worry about doing anything. and Michelle and I are so excited to bring this back. We are actually going to go live next week with some of the ladies who attended this year, the first annual Black Blossom Retreat. So that is March 16th through the 22nd. And I just got word that I am a speaker at another women's retreat in April. So that is happening in April in Atlanta, Georgia. I will be back in Atlanta, Georgia. So I am excited about all of the retreats. One of my dreams was to be a retreat speaker. Not only just to be a speaker at events and corporate events and those kind of things and on stages, amongst the folks, but it's also to do speaking engagements at retreats. So I'm so excited about the opportunities that are coming up. And if you want to be involved, get on the list. Before I forget, because I want to make sure I'm covering everything. But before I forget, there is a free PDF download for today's message. So as I was prepping for today's live, because I knew I was going to go live this month, tonight, I wanted to gift you guys a free PDF checklist, and it's really designed around creating the life that you deserve and desire, and really approaching your life like a business. I saw Emma Greedy, who I follow, and she is the brain behind Skims and Good American, and she did something similar to what I'm going to be talking about tonight, but mine is always going to have a twist. Like, how can you marry not only elevation in business, but also elevation in your life overall, and doing it from a place of complete holistic wellness? You guys know me being trained as a trade, as a midwife, a holistic a CPM, which is certified professional midwife, almost 30 years ago. I cannot believe that. Shh, don't tell nobody. Maybe, yeah, don't tell nobody. I always look at things from a holistic standpoint. So I'm not tunnel vision focused when it comes to modalities, meaning healing modalities and how you approach your business, how you approach your life. I'm always looking at the whole picture and package. So tonight's message is really centered around that. So if you want, which I highly suggest, you have a system of holding yourself accountable, download the free PDF that's in the description, because it is there for you. It is there for you to have a system, a checklist to be accountable, but also, to give yourself grace. I'm a big proponent of giving yourself grace. So that's my news. That's my news. That's my news. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Yes. Yeah. So let's get into it without further ado. So, how to treat your life like a business, like the business of your dreams. How to treat your life like the business of your dreams. First, you must define the vision of your life. What does that mean? Like, when you go into business, people always say create a business plan. And to be honest, I'm not really a fan of business plans unless you are going for monies, meaning if you're seeking investments or going towards like venture capitalists and seeking monies. But I do understand the power of a business plan and having some map out a trajectory of what your business is going, or your business landscape is going to look like. But now let's talk about defining the vision of your dream life. And in doing so, it's just like a business, the business plan. So creating a statement for your dream life, creating that, writing it down, and getting really, really serious about it. You guys are going to hear me talk about 2026, and as we close 2020, what does that mean? I'm sorry, 2025. What does that mean for you? What are some of the goals that you set out to accomplish for yourself that you did not accomplish? What are some of the goals that you did accomplish? But getting into the full mindset of like creating a vision statement for your life and really crafting one for yourself. The next one is envision not just your financial success, because oftentimes in this patriarchal society, we look at success defined with a price tag, or success defined with a dollar amount. I want you to expand your thinking. As you are expanding the vision for your life, part of that is expanding it. When you start to embody a wealth mindset, it doesn't just focus on finances. It focuses again on the overall human experience, the overall person, you. So what does that level of fulfillment look like for you? What does that include as far as your wellness and how you treat your body and your life? And then also, what brings you joy? What are some of the things that bring you joy? What's up, Kim? How are you? I am back. Hello. But what are some of the things that bring you joy? So when we talk about defining the vision of your life, y'all know I have my notes to the side. These are the things that I really want you to focus on. Goals that serve both your career aspirations and your personal desires. And I want it to be balanced. I don't want one to supersede the other. And in your career, how is your career centered around alignment? How is your career centered around impact? How is your career centered around influence? How is your career centered around affluence? So when we talk about that, or when you think about like defining your life vision, get into the expansion of that. Where are you traveling? How often are you traveling, if you're traveling at all? And what does that look like for you? I really want you to begin to get into the emotional aspect of feeling your dream life. You hear like the great manifesting coaches, they always talk about getting into the feeling, because we have been trained in this society that we have to see it with the naked eye in order for it to be real. But in all actuality, when we start to map out, create and design, we have to, everything is an idea first, or everything we see it in our mind first. And then you want to step into that. I'm a huge morning meditation girl. Every morning, 20 minutes of meditation, and also every night. So in that, I am reprogramming my subconscious. I'm getting in there as deep as I can, but also I'm stepping into the feeling of my life in forward emotion. What are the things that I'm calling in? How am I leveling up? I always want to be a person of impact. I always want to be a person of influence and also affluent. So in doing that, there are ways that I have to show up and hold myself accountable. So what does your vision for your dream life look like? Okay. The next one is you want to build systems that support both work and rest. You want to build systems that support both work and rest. And because I work with women in business, and because I have a businesses of my own, I'm always in the system space, because it's really about working smarter. It's about leverage. It is about community, because we talked about the LeadHer Luncheon and getting in space. But those are also part of the bigger ecosystem, right? But in that, I also have to make sure that I'm honoring rest. And that's also why I took time off of YouTube, is because I wasn't getting burnt out from YouTube, but it was more so like, what we doing? What are we doing here, right? What are we doing? So building systems that support both work and rest. So establish specific routines for productivity, time blocking, financial planning, and also healthy habits. If you plan to be a woman of impact, if you are a woman of impact, if you are seeking to level up in your level of impact and influence and affluence, you have to be well. You can, the most influential people are extremely healthy. You cannot have one without the other, because how you treat yourself is how you are going to treat everything else involving you. When I see, one of my pet peeves, and people know this about me who have spent time with me personally, is when I see Black women mistreat other Black women. Because to me, that is a reflection of how you see yourself. And I'm speaking specifically about Black women because I am one, and I could talk about that. But also because I've been in spaces, and how many of us have been in spaces where we can feel the cold shoulder from somebody that you don't even know me, but for some reason you don't like me. And it's really, it's not about you, it's about them. And it's about how they see themselves. So you have to, do a self-analysis and do some deep introspection, making sure that you are not projecting. So if you have some insecurities, you are first addressing them within yourself and moving forward. So establish, specific routines around productivity, around time blocking. Time blocking, the first, I would say 4 or 5 hours of my day, I'm very productive. Anything outside of that, I start to take a dip. Anything outside of that, I start to Can't trust my brain because I understand my time of, when I'm most innovative, when ideas are coming to my head. I understand my hours of peak moments. So in doing so, it's like I choose to operate within in those time frames because I'm able to get the best information and direction out of me. Okay. The next thing is incorporate sacred time for self-care, relationships, and play, meaning leisure. Incorporate specific times for that. Say, I don't want to do it. I want to rest. Or creating a space in your home that is for you, that where you can have specific time for yourself or dedicated time to where I only do this here. And when I'm here, this is what I'm doing. And this space is sacred for me. So creating sacred routines, sacred spaces where you can, pour into yourself, but also allow your nervous system to decompress and begin to just give your body the rest that it deserves. Also, getting in relationship or nurturing relationships with people that serve you and relationships that pour back into you to where you are not constantly being the one to pour into other people. You are not the smartest person in the room, or you're not the one who's doing all the giving and none of the receiving. You want to make sure that you get into balanced relationships. I am a Libra. It is Libra season. Honey's birthday was this past Wednesday. And when I tell you I'm all about balance, I'm all about reciprocity. If my scales are tilted, if there is no reciprocity in this relationship, then you will see me go off because I cannot function well. So making sure that you are allowing times for that. And as adults, we have gotten out of, and that's because of society, we have gotten out of the importance of playing, the importance of like frolicking, the importance of just like going out and playing in the dirt or, doing silly shit. We have gotten out of that because society, has taught us that we need to take ourselves more seriously than we need to. But in all actuality, what is that little person in you saying? What is the little person in you? What are they saying? What do they need? What are they desiring? If you could, write a love note to your 5-year-old self, what would you say? What is it that they need? What is missing? Because I have said, like, I'm living my life in reverse. I was a young mom. If you want to know my life story, it's in my book right here. It's available on Amazon. But, I had things that led me to down, my life's path. But all the goals that I'm trying to accomplish now are really the goals that I had as a little girl. So what are those goals that you have as your 5-year-old self or your 10-year-old self or your 12-year-old self? Like, start prioritizing play. Start prioritizing leisure and things that bring you joy. Because when you do so, not only are you feel better, but you show up better and you are more fulfilled. Yes, you more play, right? You need more play. I'm so sorry, Miriam. I am so sorry, but you understand what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So the next thing is, in business, the best companies, how they survive from being burnt out are they plan for the downfall, they plan for the valleys, or they plan for the ebb moments. So in your life, to prevent burnout, the brands that last the longest, they embed how do you handle it when it's not peak season? How are you handling it? How are you prioritizing to make it, through those times? Right now is a valley season because of just the economy, because people are going through a lot, society, political reasons, all of that. So how are you thinking about getting through to the other side? So you want to take that same approach in your business, but then also in your life, getting through to the other side. So building systems that support both work and rest. Okay. The next thing is money is a tool. It is not the goal. Money is a tool. Money is a tool. You are all deserving to be multimillionaires. Gone are the days of just saying millionaires. You are all deserving to be multimillionaires. And being multimillionaires, how are you going to use the millions when they show up? Right? You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. Otherwise, when those millions come, you will not be able to grow it even more because you were not prepared for it. So that means you will not be able to hold on to it. Being millionaires or multimillionaires mean how are you going to be of greater impact, of greater influence? How are you going to become a global brand? It is a tool to get you to the next level. It is a tool to amplify your vision. It is a tool to make your word or your message spread to a global level. Money is not the goal. So manage your finances like a business. Track your cash flow. Track your every day you should be looking at your money, even if it's just a quick glance. Every day you should be looking at your money. What I have found for me, and this has always been true, and there are times with long periods of time when I don't do it, but when I look at like things that I owe and write them down, when I write them down, the things, the money that I owe or debts that we may have, when I write them down, they get paid faster than what I was anticipating. So just one little trick for you guys: look at your money and whatever it is that you owe, write it down. Write it down where you can see it every day. And in writing it down where you can see it every day, it becomes priority for universe to gift you, bless you with flow, monetary flow, so those debts can be eliminated and you can move lighter in the world. Okay. So track your cash flow, create investments. One of the things that you must and absolutely do is you must level up your financial literacy. You must level up your financial literacy. And this is in the checklist as well. Make sure you download the free checklist that's in the description. When you level up your financial literacy, it just makes you think different. It also makes you move different. It makes you spend different. You allocate different. You do everything differently. So how do you begin to level up your financial literacy? Make a commitment to read at least one book a month. You can read it or you can listen to it in Audible around finances. You also must be listening to a money podcast. So your language is going to change. How you look at wealth, expansion, abundance, finance, investments, opportunities. Your language is going to change around money. Okay. So making sure that you are creating investments along the way, but also you want to make sure that you are creating diversification in there. And in diversification, how do you become diversified in your money portfolio or in your wealth or finance portfolio? Is you must understand the language of money. How do you understand the language of money? You must become financially literate. Okay. Being a person of impact and influence, you must be prepared. How do you get prepared for the things that are coming your way? How are you getting prepared for the life that you are calling and drawing in? You have to have the knowledge behind you, because otherwise it's not going to show up because you haven't made room for it. But when you make room, things show up. The next thing is use wealth to fund your business dreams, but also travel and experiences. And of course, wellness and pouring into your wellness. Honey and I, one of the things that we absolutely love to do is watch travel videos on YouTube. And lately we have been not stuck, but in Vietnam. That is on my list. Vietnam is on my list. Everybody is going to Thailand. Some people are going to Vietnam too, but Vietnam, not to move, but to visit and spend an extensive amount of time in the country. I did the same thing before we moved to Mexico. It was, I just poured information inside because I knew the life that I was calling in. We're also planning a trip, but I think I've done enough research, but you can never do enough research, but a European tour. And when I say tour, it's because we're going to be gone for a minute in the EU. So, mapping that out, but map that out for yourself. It does not matter what your current situation looks like. But you must have a plan going forward. You must be in constant daydream manifestation mode, because when you are, then you are drawing it into yourself. Okay. So your wealth is not just to fund your business, but also your dreams. And when you fund your business just opens up opportunity for you to be able to fund your dreams. Okay. The next thing is let money buy you both freedom and pleasure. Not just security. Security is where people get stuck. Security is obviously the goal, but it's not the end all. Okay. You have to allow your money, again, to operate as a tool. It is not the goal. So when you think about expansion and growth and in wealth and in abundance in the financial space, how is this going to fund my freedom? Do I see myself at this most beautiful hotel in Capri? What does that take for me to get there? Do I see myself stepping out? And this, I'm sharing my thoughts with y'all. Do I see myself stepping out of the car, getting out in front of the most beautiful hotels in Monte Carlo? Like, what does that take for me to get there? Okay. So these are the things that I want you to do for yourself. It's about freedom. What does that look like for you? And I want you to give verbiage and adjectives to freedom for yourself. Freedom for me, one of my email addresses, honey was like, that's one of your email addresses? One of my email addresses is Naked in Nature. And it's Naked in Nature because I really see myself naked in nature. That is what I absolutely love, the jungle. I love trees. San Miguel does not have enough trees for me to hug. When I tell you, being around lush greenery is one of my absolute life goals. And I see myself in that space every day, all the time. And so, where do you see yourself every day in that space all the time? So give language to her. Give language to what she wears and what kind of perfume she has on, or oils, or what scents. Does the fabric flow around her body, or does it cling to her skin? Where is she vacationing? How is she investing in her business? Who is she impacting? Give her language. Okay. The next thing is ROI, return on investment on energy, time, and relationships. This one, it can be a difficult one because oftentimes we don't see ourselves as dispelling a lot of energy because we're operating on autopilot. But now this is a time I really want you guys to do an audit of your life and of your time and how you're allocating it and the relationships. Is it serving your greater good? If it is not, then you got to do some readjusting. Thank you, Yaya. If it is not, you're going to have to fix some things. Okay? I will not waste my energy on BS. I refuse to, because it is not serving my greater good. Because the Tracie that I'm sharing with you guys, that I have given language to, she does not do that. Not that I really ever did, but she does not do that. Okay. Your time is precious. You must treat it as such. So audit your calendar and your connections. If you have a meeting and you don't have time for yourself, look at your calendar Sunday night, Monday morning. How are you going into your week? And if you can reschedule just 1 to 2 things to give yourself a break or to create more space and time for yourself, then do that. If something does not need to take place, if it is a waste of time, if it is not calling in your greater good, then you don't need to participate in it, because it is taking away from the language of her. Let's just give it that title. You're taking away from the time of her, right? What does she need? The next thing is protect your energy from draining people and commitments. Again, how are we allocating our time? I'm talking about relationships with family, friends, intimate relationships. Women, we are notorious for pouring into people who do not pour into us. You have got to stop that, because somebody who operates in an abundance mindset, in a wealth mindset, in a business building and expansion mindset, a multimillionaire does not waste time. We're looking at what is going to be the return on my investment. How can I buy this to buy more time? And if it is not allowing you to do that, then you need to make some adjustments. You need to do an audit of your life. Allow your brand to reflect both your ambition and your humanity. Professionally and personally, you should be in harmony. What does your home environment look like? Do you have a bunch of clutter around? That means you have a mind full of clutter. Clean your environment. Get rid of things that you don't use. Start making room for things to come in. A lot of times there's blockage there because it's crowded, it's convoluted, it is cluttered. So how do you begin to make room for expansion? You must get clear. And in getting clear, you must have clear vision, you must have clear focus, you must have a clear environment, you must have a clear mindset, you must have a clear pathway, because if you don't have those things, then it's blockages. There's no place for it to go. There's no place for it to flow into your life. You are the architect of you. You are the architect of your higher her. You are the architect of her. So what does she need? How does she live? Okay. Is she somebody who is boggled down in trash? No, she's somebody who is surrounded by beauty and luxury and people saying yes to her, and ease, and people who are loving being in her presence because she loves being in her own presence and exuding that herself. She is a magnet. So in your magnetism, what are you attracting? The next thing is invest in friendships, family, and love with the same seriousness that you would invest into your business opportunities. If you have a business opportunity to come your way and you are not in position, that means you are not ready. In business, you must always be ready so you don't have to get ready. You must always be ready. And how are you always ready? Is you make sure that you are auditing your business, your systems, your time, your key performance, meaning your KPIs, your key performance indicators, your SOPs, which is your systems operating procedures. You are operating in that manner. Who is your audience? You are constantly reaching out to people. You are growing your list. You're expanding your territory because you are a woman of impact. So in being a woman of impact, what are you doing when it comes to also pouring back into you? Okay. So investing into your personal brand, you, as much as you would into your business brand. Okay. Let me get back in. I'm missing all of these comments. My sister lives in Naples. Okay. I'm going there in 90 days. All right. Naples is on my list. Naples is absolutely on my list. I want to go there and I want to learn how to make authentic Italian pizza. And then also because you have to go into Naples to get to the Amalfi Coast and things like that. So it is on my list. Give her language. Yes, she needs language. What's her name? What does she wear? What does she do? How do her mornings start? What does she drink in the morning? How do her evenings end? What are some self-care modalities that she has in place for herself on a daily basis? And I don't mean the superficial stuff like getting your hair done, getting your nails done, and all of that. No, I mean, what are the daily routine habits that she has in place for herself to where it is about her next level, where she's loving on herself? Oh, hello. That's my plan for this weekend. If I haven't touched it. Yes, yes. I am decluttering this weekend. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. Curate your personal brand and lifestyle. Treat your appearance, communication, and environment like your brand identity. How are you showing up? What you look like? What you got on? Are you looking, not put together, but you want people to take you seriously? Okay. How's that work? How's that working for you? Put some time and effort in how you feel. I am on Substack. I need to drop my link in here. I'm on Substack, but I recently did a post this week about the 10 habits of high level women, high value women. And I'll drop it in the description. Let me see if I can just pull it up real quick. Where is it? I don't know. I don't feel like finding it, but I'm on Substack and I did a post this week talking about the 10 morning habits of high value women: meditation, yoga, drinking tea, journaling, getting dressed and making herself feel good. Those are the things that she does before she even shows up in the work. Granted, it was more than that, but those are the things. Slow mornings are crucial. How are you showing up for yourself? So the next thing is communication and environment, like your brand identity. Again, when you communicate or when in your personal environment, what does it look like? Is it classy? Is it cluttered? What are we doing here? Does it speak luxury? Does it speak what you're calling into your life? What are we doing here? Right? Show up polished and intentional and authentic. Be intentional, be authentic, show up as yourself. Because when you show up as who you are, it just gives you the room to just blossom and for people to be attracted to genuinely you. Be intentional about how you move, who you spend your time with, how you spend your time, how you spend your money. Be intentional about the things that you do, about what you allow in. Set your boundaries, setting your boundaries and holding to those boundaries, right? Treat your brand in your life, like curate that. What does that design look like we spoke about earlier in your designing your life statement? What does your vision life look like? Okay. Allow your brand to reflect both your ambition and your humanity. I said that already. Okay. I messed up one, but that's okay. But allow that to be a representation of who you are and what you stand for and what you will allow. What are your standards? And in your standards, you must hold yourself to those standards first and foremost. We teach people how to treat us in life and in business. Okay? We teach people how to treat us. If you have a contract, you cannot expect your contract to be only upheld by your client. You must first uphold your own agreement, and then they should too honor that agreement. If not, we are not in business with one another. Growth, scaling, and pleasure. Continuously scale yourself by learning, getting into mentorships, and creating new ventures. I am a lifelong student. I love it. The older I get, the more I learn, the more I want to learn, the more I want to learn about the world, the more I want to learn about me, the more I want to learn about things that I don't know. Be a lifelong student. You must invest in yourself. And what does that look like? Okay. Learning and being in places and spaces that teach you, being surrounded by people where you are not the smartest person in the room. How are you growing? Expand your influence without sacrificing joy and connection. We're not sacrificing no more if it's not pouring into where we're going. Where is she going? Where is she headed? Right? Growth isn't only about money, but it is about deeper connection and experiences that are meaningful. Growing, scaling, pleasure, prioritizing play. When you start prioritizing pleasure, more pleasure finds you. When you start prioritizing expansion and abundance, more abundance finds you. It's really simple math that society has made complicated. It is very, very simple. Now it's time to remove the complication out of it. And we are demystifying what it means to be in growth and in pleasure-centered life. Okay? Understanding that we can learn from everything and everyone. Doesn't mean you have to tolerate it. It doesn't mean you have to like it. But understand that we are living in a land of reciprocity. And how are we giving, and also how are we receiving? Okay. Legacy and exit strategy. I love a good exit strategy. I'm an exit strategy girl. I am. I just think having a plan B, how are we getting out of this thing? What are we doing next? Where are we going? What's the plan? You cannot just leave abruptly. You can, but you are inviting chaos and disorganization. Having an exit strategy is the way to go. In my vault, I dropped all of my ebooks into one vault. So there's like 16 ebooks and guides, and one of them is my strategic departures video ebook. Yes, it's a video ebook on how I exited a business and a country. And I just walk through step by step what I did. So, but not just that, there's like a whole exit strategy plan, systems, and ways you can continue to make money in the vault, in the LeadHer Library vault. Like if you want that whole package, I need to drop that in. I didn't drop that in there. Let me drop that in the description. I'll drop that in the description when we're done. But absolutely, what is your legacy? What are you leaving? So build a life that leaves assets, not just financially, emotionally, spiritually, for generations to come. So I started writing, there's things that I'm writing down for my children to have. And because it's about me leaving legacy, it's about me leaving my teachings while I'm here for them so they can continue to grow and expand themselves for generations to come. What is the legacy that you're leaving? Part of my legacy is pouring into other women. That brings me so much joy. I can't help it. I've known that for a very long time. So in doing that, what is that story? What is that fabric? What does that mean? So legacy is about wealth, but also about memories and traditions. And again, here we go with that word, impact and influence. What does your legacy look like? Start thinking again, it's about the broader picture. It is not just, again, right here, right now. Understanding what we have is right here, right now. But as we continue to live another day, another moment, another hour, what are the little crumbs that we're leaving along the way so others can benefit from? Part of being a woman in leadership, you must be bringing up other leaders along with you, because what the hell are we doing? I don't want to be the only leader. I want to be surrounded by leaders. How can I be surrounded by leaders is number one, positioning, networking, but also teaching other women what I know, right? Because what we doing? It is about impact, okay? The next thing is create a dream life where both you and your business and your personal story matter equally. So what's the balance? What is the balance? I hope this is making sense for y'all. Hey, Aileen, lifelong student as well, right? You are right. It's an investment. It is totally an investment. So I am going to give you guys questions to ask yourself. Though these questions, and I thought they were really good. They came from Emma Greedy's podcast. And I was like, well, let me just incorporate these because these were really good. So as we close the third quarter of the year and we're going into the fourth quarter of the year, these are some good questions to ask yourself in preparation. Okay. The first one is, and I asked you guys this earlier, what goals that you did not complete that you have for yourself this year, and why not? Write it down and get serious about it. What were the obstacles? What were some of the things that stood in the way? Life circumstances, you not making time. What were the goals that you did not get to completing this year? I need to put this closer. What are 3 things you wish you did more of that would make the future you happy? What are 3 things that you wish you did more of? So we talked about giving her language. We talked about giving her her name. What does she look like? What does she wear? How's her business run? How much money does she make a month? What are 3 things that you wish you did more of? So what would be the things that the high value woman in you needs, that you need to think about incorporating, that you did not get to? What are you avoiding? This is question number 3. What are you avoiding and scared of doing? What are you avoiding that's keeping you from getting to the next level? Is it looking at your money? Is it paying off debt? Is it, becoming a lifelong student? Is it learning more so you can, add more value into your business? What is it? What I know for a fact is when we take our fears bull by the horns, we're better able to face it, tackle it, and get it done, and it is over. But it's the avoidance that keeps us stuck in the mud. Now it's time that we get out of that mud. Okay. The next question is, what do you want to learn in the next year? Big or small? And, what is going to bring you joy? What do you want to learn in the next year? Write that down. Number 5 is, what habits do you want to create and what boundaries do you want to establish? What habits do you want to create and what boundaries do you want to have? Boundaries can support your habits. Boundaries allows you to bring in commitment. Boundaries allow you to say yes to you and not yes to everybody else. Boundaries. And in that, you can create habits that lead to the higher you, that lead to the next level of you. Again, giving her language. What is she tolerating? What is she not tolerating? How is she moving? How is she answering her calls? What is she doing? What does her day look like? How is she starting her day? What is she putting into her body? How is she prioritizing her wellness? How is she prioritizing her spirituality? How is she prioritizing her money? Like, how is she prioritizing her business? So again, to hold you accountable, I created the free download checklist that's in the description for you to access right now. You can access that free checklist. You also want to make sure that you get signed up for the LeadHer Luncheon so you can start getting in community, rubbing elbows, networking, connecting, collaborating with other women who are just as serious as you to take everything that they're doing to the next level, because it is about expansion. It is about expansion. Okay. So download the free Dream Life CEO checklist. It is there for you. It is there for you to honor yourself. It is there for you to honor the next level you. It is about making sure that you are approaching not only your business, but your life. You have to be in position so you are prepared for all of the money that you're going to receive. You have to get in position, get ready. Okay. You have to make sure that this is a love note to yourself. How are you walking into the next calendar year? Because it's not the next new year. The new year doesn't start until spring. But now when we start to go into hibernation season, how are you doing the great lock-in? How are you doing that? Okay, so get your checklist. It is there. Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, thank you. But it's really about positioning, and it's because it's about putting yourself in alignment. I don't want you guys to to be presented with opportunities that you're not ready for, because those opportunities will never present themselves to you again because you weren't ready. I want you to be ready, so when the opportunity presents itself to you, or when opportunities, plural, presents itself to you, you are in alignment, you are in position, and you are getting ready to take the bull by the horns. You are also creating opportunities for yourself, which means you are going to create opportunities for other people. And in creating opportunities for more people, that levels up your impact and your influence, which there levels up your affluence. Okay, so it is all about that. So please like this live. Please share this live to other women that you may feel benefit from it. I appreciate you guys for joining me on my first Friday Night Live back in about 6 weeks. Again, it was really about honoring where I was. I needed to take a break. I needed to reassess, readjust, and just take some downtime. But I am back, and I want you guys to be in community with me even more, even longer, even greater. Because again, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, we go together, right? It is about women in business leadership. And this is part of leadership. This is why LeadHer is a part of what I do, leading her. It is about coming together. Is about reaching back and getting the other, your sister behind you, okay? And how do you bring in the necessary modalities to go and grow further in both business and in life? You can't have one without the other. And trust me, if you have one without the other, you will feel deprived. But it's really about how are you calling in wealth abundance, and also how are you leveling up your personal life and living the life that you desire. So make sure you download that Dream Life CEO checklist, because that is going to be the thing that is going to help carry you through to the next level. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you guys too. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Have a good weekend. And I will see you inside the LeadHer Luncheon, I hope. Make sure you are on my mailing list, because I will be dropping a how to grow your email list organically without all of the buying Facebook ads and creating these beautiful funnels. How do you grow your email list organically? Because again, it is about pulling your network off of these social media platforms, because we understand social media changes. Algorithms are not necessarily in our favor all the time, but you want to make sure that you have a targeted, dedicated audience that understands your messaging, your branding, your voice, and what it is that you offer, so that way you can be in community and help other people grow. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.